Hi, friends. I have a special book today to share with you that's got to do with making mistakes. I really want you to realize that making mistakes is a part of learning and that it's not a bad thing to make mistakes. It's something that we use to learn. And sometimes mistakes lead to really wonderful things. And I'm going to share some of that with you in a few minutes. But first, my book, The Girl Who Never Made Mistakes. And it is by Mark Pett and Gary Rubenstein. So they wrote it together. They're the authors. And it was illustrated by Mark Pett. Sounds like sounds like Mark was doing also the drawings, but he got some help with the words. Okay, here we go. For Beatrice Bottomwell, Friday began like any other day. So here she is, waking up in the morning. She matched her socks, and of course she put her shoes on their proper feet. She remembered to feed her hamster, Humbert, his favorite food, broccoli, and when she made a sandwich for her brother Carl's lunch, she used exactly the same amount of peanut butter as jelly. So here she is. She's getting dressed in the morning, and then she's making a sandwich, and she's also feeding her hamster. So it sounds like she's doing a really good job right now, right? When she stepped outside to greet her fans, she didn't forget to say good morning and thank you. They asked if she made her bed. She had. They asked if she forgot to do her math homework. Nope. What about tonight's talent show? They asked. I'm ready, said Beatrice with a smile. After all, her juggling act had won 3 years in a row. Look, she's famous. I guess she's famous for never making mistakes, and also for what she does in the talent show. Look at people want to take her picture. Wow, that's something. Most people in town didn't even know Beatrice's name. They just called her the girl who never makes mistakes, because for as long as anyone could remember, she never did. Unlike Beatrice, Carl made lots of mistakes. He ate his crayons and he drew with his green beans. He danced with his hands and played the piano with his feet. Carl loved to make mistakes. So look, there's a big difference between these two kids, right? She's always doing everything perfect, and he's trying out and doing things in different ways, some kind of silly ways sometimes. At school, Beatrice was on a cooking team with her two best friends, Millie and Sarah. To make their giant rhubarb muffins, they needed 4 eggs. Beatrice went to the refrigerator and carefully chose the biggest, eggiest egg she could find. But on the way back, her legs slipped from under her. The eggs went flying. Beatrice was about to make her first mistake. Oh my goodness, look at that. She dropped the egg and she's falling. I wonder what's going to happen now. I wonder how she's going to feel since she's never made a mistake before. How do you think she's going to feel, friends? Think about that. But she didn't. That was close, thought Beatrice. Sorry, Beatrice, I dropped a piece of rhubarb. Oh, mention it, Illy. So look, she caught it in her mouth. She caught it in her mouth. For the rest of the school day, Beatrice could not stop thinking about her almost mistake. Look, she looks kind of sad. She's sad that she might have made a mistake. I don't think there's anything wrong with making mistakes. On her way home from school, Beatrice watched Millie and Sarah ice skating in the park. Come join us, said Millie. It's fun, said Sarah. Beatrice watched them slip and slide on the frozen pond. Millie and Sarah laughed as they wobbled on the ice. No thanks, said Beatrice. Right. So they're slipping and sliding because they're learning, right? They don't know how to do it and they're slipping and sliding. But are they crying? No, they're not crying. They're laughing. They're having a good time. At supper, Beatrice barely touched her food. Is everything all right, kiddo? Asked her father. I'm worried I'll mess up tonight, said Beatrice, and everyone will be watching. Worry? You don't make mistakes, he said with a smile. Beatrice tried to smile too. Look at her brother. You got to look at her brother, though, right? Her brother is putting something on his head. He doesn't always do the right thing. After supper, Beatrice got ready for the talent show. First, she woke Humbert from his nap. Next, she got the salt shaker from the kitchen table. Finally, she filled a balloon with water. I wonder what she's going to do with all that stuff. That's interesting. Must be part of her magic act or something. Or talent show. The school auditorium was packed. Beatrice felt her stomach jumping around inside her. Hey, friends, have you ever felt nervous where it's almost like your stomach is jumping around? Like that's how she's feeling. Here, she's peeking out at the people to see how many people are out there. I have felt that way. I've had like, sometimes people say it's like having butterflies in your stomach. You don't have butterflies, but it feels like it because you're nervous. Beatrice waited for her juggling music to begin. Oh, she's doing juggling, not magic. That's her. That's the girl who never makes mistakes, said a woman. Oh, we know she'll be perfect, said a man. When the music started, she tossed Humbert into the air. Next, she added the salt shaker and finally the water balloon. Oh, so she's juggling some funny things there. A balloon, a salt shaker, and her poor little animal, her pet. I don't know. Beatrice didn't miss a beat. The crowd clapped with delight, but Beatrice noticed something odd about the salt shaker. The specks falling out of it were not white. Oh, you know, friends, with salt shaker, you could have salt in one of them that's white, but what do you have in the other one that's black? Do you know? Look at it's pepper, I think. And look at the pepper. It's going toward. Can you see in the picture how it's going toward the hamster's nose? Do you know what can happen when pepper gets in your nose? You can sneeze. Oh, yeah, that's what happened. Ah, chew! Look at all those exclamation points. Because you got to read that excited. Maybe I didn't read that excited enough. Ah, chew! That was better, huh? Oh, no. Humbert was so surprised by his sneeze that he grabbed the water balloon with his claws. What's going to happen then, friends? Kablooey! Kablooey, right? Another exclamation point. I gotta say that excited. Humbert pieces a water balloon and the pepper rained down on the top of Beatrice. For the first time in as long as anyone could remember, Beatrice made a mistake. And it was a big one. Oh, look at poor Beatrice. Look at the poor hamster. She looks so sad. Look at, she's dripping because of what? Why is she dripping? Think about it. It was that balloon, right? That had water in it. And now it broke on her head. The music stopped. Beatrice didn't know what to do. Cry? Run off the stage? Oh my goodness, she didn't know what to do. She's all sad. She's frozen. The crowd sat stunned. Stunned means, oh, I can't believe it, right? They couldn't believe that the girl who never made mistakes made a mistake. Look, they're all shocked looking at her. But you know, friends, everybody makes mistakes. Beatrice looked up at Humbert. He looked back at her. His hamster fur was soaked and speckled with bits of balloon. Beatrice let out a giggle. The giggle grew into a chuckle, and the chuckle became a laugh. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that she's not crying, that she realizes that it's actually kind of funny. The people in the crowd looked at each other and then back at Beatrice. So it's not nice if they just started, if she was crying, friends, would it have been nice for the people to laugh at her? No. But if she's laughing, do you think it's okay for them to laugh? Let's see what happens. The people in the crowd looked at each other and then back at Beatrice. They began to giggle. then chuckle, then finally roar with laughter. That means there's really loud laughter. Beatrice and the audience laughed until they couldn't remember why they were laughing. So everybody's actually having a lot of fun now, huh? That crazy thing that happened turned out funny. That night, Beatrice slept better than she ever had. In the morning, no fans greeted Beatrice. When she got dressed, Beatrice, for no reason at all, put a polka dot sock on one foot and a plaid sock on the other. See, she doesn't have all that stress. Sometimes if you feel like everything you do has to be perfect, friends, that you can't make a mistake, it can give you stress. It can make you feel bad. And so she doesn't feel that stress anymore, so she's sleeping really good. And look, she's like, I don't care. I think it's fun. I'm going to wear a polka dot and stripes. And so she did. She didn't have to have it perfect. Beatrice and Carl made sandwiches. This time they put the peanut butter and jelly on the outside. They called it an inside-out PB&J. Lunch was messy and delicious. Look at that. So they tried an experiment. See the experiment? Later, Beatrice found Millie and Sarah skating in the park. They fell a lot and laughed. Look, she joined them this time. So she's having fun, and it's okay. It's okay to learn by falling down. Now, people no longer call her the girl who never makes mistakes. They just call her Beatrice, right? Because everybody makes mistakes, and it's okay. That's how you learn. Yes. As a matter of fact, friends, I have something to tell you that's interesting about an amazing mistake. Something that you might love that was a mistake, okay? Did you know that chocolate chip cookies, Post-it notes, and Silly Putty were all invented by mistake? Toll House, that's if you ever order or if you ever buy the little chocolate chips that come in the Toll House, the bag, and you can make cookies. Toll House was trying to make chocolate cookies and ran out of baker's chocolate. She substituted milk chocolate chunks and came up with chocolate chip cookies instead of chocolate cookies. Without mistakes, we wouldn't have chocolate chip cookies. She didn't have enough to make them all chocolate, so she made them little chocolate pieces. I love chocolate chip cookies. Spencer Silver was trying to make a very strong adhesive for the aerospace industry. Instead, made a very weak one. It wasn't strong enough. The result of it was he accidentally invented Post-it notes. Friends, this is a Post-it note that I have in here. There are these little pieces of paper that are sticky, right? They're sticky, and you can stick them to things. See, that's a Post-it note. Well, he was trying to do something for maybe to use with a spaceship or an airplane or something, and it wasn't sticky enough. But it was perfect for a Post-it note, so he invented that. And then the other thing is Silly Putty. Have any of you ever had Silly Putty? It's like you can push it out and you can roll it into things. It's kind of like Play-Doh, except it's stronger than Play-Doh, and you don't have to keep it so protected in a container. But it says James Wright was trying to make rubber and accidentally created stretchy substance that bounced. And that's the other cool thing. I wish I had some to show you, but you can roll it up in a ball and it can bounce too. The invention did not work for the intended purpose. It became one of the most famous toys in the 20th century. Even astronauts use it to keep their tools from flying around in outer space. He invented Silly Putty. So maybe you guys have some Silly Putty. So those were mistakes. Those were great, wonderful mistakes. And just like our friend Rosie, the engineer, remember that story? She made mistakes and she kept getting better. So don't worry about mistakes. Just keep on trying and have a good day.